What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Pratt here, and this is Jedi Training.
Yeah, we are in the place of
So as you know, I'm always bringing you accessible, modifiable, and engaging content for in the gym, in the classroom, and at home. Today's game, Jedi Training, is a great game for working on students' agility, spatial awareness, and keeping them having a lot of fun. Jedi Training can be played with students as young as kindergarten and grade 1, all the way up to students in grade 12 and high school. It can even be played with adults. Jedi Training is somewhat like a tag game in the fact that you're trying to hit other opponents with your pool noodle to try and eliminate them, and you're trying not to be eliminated yourself. This game is one that's really going to get students hooked, and they're going to be asking to play it over and over and over again. So let's check out some of the finer details of the game. So to start with, we got to consider your setup. As you can see, I have created my Jedi Training arena using a rectangle in my gym. On the outsides of the training arena, you will notice pylons of 4 different colors with a matching pool noodle beside each pylon. This is where players are going to start the game. So at the start of the game, you're going to break your students into partners or maybe trios. I wouldn't go any higher than that. And you're going to send them to a pylon. They're going to line up in single file order, and the student at the front is going to grab their pool noodle. Once you have students set up at the varying different pylons, you're ready to play. So let's imagine we have 2 or 3 students lined up behind each of these pylons. Student at the front, in this case myself, is holding a pool noodle, and my group is lined up behind me. When the music starts, or when the teacher says go, all the first Jedis or Sith Lords in their group are going to step into the training arena. Once in the training arena, players must stay within the boundaries. In this case, it's a green rectangle. All of the pylons are on the border of this rectangle as a good visual for players of where they need to stay. Once in the arena, we're moving through the arena trying to eliminate other players. To do this, the rules are quite simple. You must strike someone below the waist with your pool noodle. If somebody strikes you below the waist, you would be eliminated. You are allowed to attempt blocks, and you are allowed to continue playing if you are successful in blocking another opponent's strike. While playing, if 2 people happen to contact one another at the same time below the waist, in that case, both players would be eliminated. This actually does happen quite frequently, as students are often trying to block, but with a pool noodle it's quite flimsy, and you'll probably end up having people take each other out at the same time. There's no time limit on how long you can stay in the training arena, and there's no limit to how many people you can eliminate before you're eliminated. But of course, keep in mind if somebody's in there for a minute, maybe 2, we should make sure we're switching it up. But that's up to teachers' discretion or the leader's discretion as they would see fit. So let's pretend that I was eliminated. I was striked below the waist. I am going to put my lightsaber or my pool noodle above my head to indicate that I have been contacted. This way other players are going to stop hitting me with their pool noodle. I then am going to turn and run back to my line, and I'm going to pass the lightsaber or the pool noodle to my next partner, and I would go to the back of the line. Once at the back of the line, I'm just simply going to wait for my turn again while my partner or other group member comes in and does the same thing I was just doing. Now it's important to note that I've recommended groups of maybe 2 or 3 for this game because we don't want students waiting in line forever. I don't promote lines too much or waiting in most of my videos and activities, but if you keep this down to 2 or 3 people per pylon, they are going to wait, but it'll be really quick rotations because when you're in the training arena, there's a lot of other Jedis. Chances are you're going to get eliminated in less than 30 seconds, and you're going to have a lot of turns, but they're going to be really quick. This keeps everybody engaged and entertained and having fun, and really reduces that wait time when you're playing. Now, as far as safety considerations go, I always remind students, if we're contacting below the waist, there's no need to be doing overhand swings, because if you are swinging your lightsaber like this, there's no way you're going to contact somebody below the waist. It should be mostly side type swings, trying to get them in control. Of course, you're also going to have to remind your students about basic spatial awareness skills as well. This is a smaller playing area. There's going to be a lot happening in here, people going all different directions. So making sure we're keeping our head up, our eyes open, and in control of our body is really important. I also always recommend that students stay on their feet. They can jump as long as they land on their feet, but I don't allow them to slide. They will want to do this because it's like the Jedis in the Star Wars movies, but it does cause a little bit of a safety concern. So I highly recommend having students stay on their feet while playing. Now aside from that, you're pretty much ready to play Jedi training. Super simple premise, super simple setup, but tons of fun. This is one your students are going to be asking you to play over and over and over again, and it makes a great warm-up game to get everybody moving, get the heart rate up, and work on those agility type skills.
And now it's time for Pratt's Playbook, a unique perspective from Mr. Pratt on modifications, additional gameplay considerations, and more.
Alright everyone, so now that you've got the basics of Jedi training, let's talk about a few modifications you can make to keep it fresh and engaging. Number 1, the Force versus the dark side. This is the version I often like to do at the end of a class after students have gotten used to the original free-for-all style of Jedi training. In this version, any students with an orange or red lightsaber would be part of the dark side, and they form an alliance versus anybody with a green or blue lightsaber. In this case, in our example, you'd have 4 people on the dark side, 4 people on the Force side, and all of a sudden, you have a little bit of teamwork going on in this game. People working together, working on different strategies, trying to protect one another, and it keeps things fresh and exciting. Number 2, you can mix it up even further. You could have the orange group, the red group, the green group, and the blue group, and each individual color could be their own team. So in this case, you have 4 teams just sticking with your own lightsaber color. So in this way, you still are working with teams, it's just smaller teams, and again, another way to keep the game fresh and exciting. So, first things first, with the pool noodles, this is my go-to, of course. They're soft, it's very hard to hurt someone using a pool noodle, and they're nice, cheap, and affordable. A couple things I like to do with the pool noodles in my gym, I keep them at varying sizes, just like Jedis and the Dark Lords have in the Star Wars movies. Yoda's lightsaber's not as long as Count Dooku's, but he's not crying about it during their battle. So I like to remind my students that a different lightsaber is just part of the game. In fact, if you have shorter lightsabers, they're going to be better for control, but you lose reach. And if you have a longer lightsaber, you're going to get a lot of reach, but less control. So this is a good conversation starter to talk about different advantages and disadvantages that people naturally have or gain as a result of equipment within athletics and different types of sports. Another thing to keep in mind with equipment is if you'd like, you can tape the bottom of your pool noodles. This gives students a smart place to hold the noodle where they're going to get a lot more control, and also makes it super easy to clean the pool noodles in case you need to sanitize your equipment. In my video, of course, I had a condensed playing space so you could see a little bit better about how the game functions. If you just have one class, I've found a full court volleyball court is a great size for a group of about 20 to 30 to play Jedi training. If you're getting into bigger groups, like maybe double classes, 50, 60 students, you could consider using a basketball court instead. Now, of course, Jedi training could be played at an even bigger scale, maybe outside in a field. You could mark your own boundaries, you could change the shape, turn it into a circle, modify it as you need. There's really no limit to how many people could be playing this. You're just going to be limited by how many pool noodles you have. Alright, so that about does it for Jedi training. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please remember to hit that subscribe button down there, sign up for weekly notifications, like, and share away. I always love to hear your feedback in the comments section as well. But for now, this is Mr. Pratt signing off from Jedi Training.